Hey, Audrey here with Changing Tides Energy, and just wanted to share with you a little day one of coming back to you. This is where I'm seated at the moment, an unexpected part of the day. Ended up over in Jackaloff Bay where there's a nice long road that I can run, which is something that I've just always enjoyed, just a pastime. Today, I just wanted to start off this 30-day, possibly longer series of intention of my personal journey that I'm inviting you to join me along in. Since my brother took his own life in the last day of January of this year, as you can imagine, there's been a lot of energy put out towards other areas, like just dealing with that and supporting family and friends and, life and kids and just everything. And even though I live my remote wilderness dream in on the coast of the wild Alaska, still life happens, and it's really important to be intentional about coming back to center and coming back into a grounded state and space. So I've been doing these things fairly regularly for a while. It's a lot in my lifestyle, but there are a few areas. I don't know, did any of you guys feel that eclipse energy from the other day? Holy cow. And we're in a retrograde right now for Mercury and Venus, and there's just a lot of shifting going on. If you're aware to it or aware of it and open to it, there's a lot of shifting that can be happening right now. So with that in mind, I'll just share with you a couple of the areas that I feel like have been not so connected for me, not so mindful, not so grounded. The first one would be my writing routine and my practice of sharing my healing journey with others. I've been putting that energy more towards myself. And kind of just avoiding that as well. Because with it comes a lot of big feelings. It's really sad when somebody in your life dies. It's really challenging when it's a sudden death, and then it's super different when they take their own life. And just a lot of different processing happening in that space. So I would say I have done some intentional energy work for myself. I have connected with my brother in the spiritual realm. I have connected with him from my truth and my space. It has been happening, and I've felt some peace in that process, and I have felt some just joy, I guess, in the connection. It's bittersweet, and the same thing happened after my dad died, although his spirit transcended immediately, and mine joined up with him, and we just infused so much of our soul's life journey. So his death was rocketing in a really different, profound, significant, life-changing way. And my brother's death has been a little bit more confusing and shocking and troubling. There's a lot of pain and dark energy that goes into suicide. You don't get to that spot where you're going to end your life because things are feeling good. And it leaves a huge void and a lot of questions and, I'm going to say, false sense of responsibility that may be controversial, of those that are left in his wake. So, connecting with my brother spiritually since his passing, for me, is a lot more, has to be a lot more intentional, because I know that I know that the energy that is there is was troubled in its transition. So I have been working on being available in that space and assisting him, sending him towards the light. And I've noticed some beautiful, beautiful just synchronicities in that journey. One really sweet one is he's been showing up as a raven at just the right times, in sync with the work that I've been showing up for. And today on my run, like I think I said, these long runs are really nostalgic for me on these remote wilderness Alaskan roads where there's hardly any traffic and you can just totally zone out, especially this time of year when the bears aren't probably awake yet. Here comes an airplane. So anyway, I was just running, just zoning out, just doing my thing, feeling like I've been doing that since I was literally like 8 years old. I used to go for runs around the block, and I grew up in a small town where it just felt safe just to go. And I just ran a lot, especially, when things were stressful, which I often felt they were. So anyhow, I run a lot less these days, especially considering where I live, but I do always jump at the opportunity, especially over here. So long story to say, I was running along and I just looked up. I had my AirPods in, so I couldn't really hear that well. And I looked up and a raven was flying over, which is like, no big deal. The airplane's flying over right now. It's kind of loud. It's still no big deal. But when the raven flew over, it stopped. It didn't stop flying, but it turned. It did like a loop, like it looped right over me, and did like a little circle over me, and then turned and went off and flew towards the light. And that was just really symbolic for me because I have been feeling a lot more peace around my brother's transition lately. So I think there's it's a very mysterious world. And I think there's a lot going on out there. And I'm ready to tap in more to that. And I'm capable of that. And I'm going to do that. That's part of my 30 days here. So self-energy work each day. Also eliminating the foods that I know cause inflammation for me. I'm 41 now and feeling pretty good, like strong and healthy and everything. But I am feeling inflamed, and I know why. It's because I've allowed gluten and dairy and sugar to sneak back into my life. So, easy fix. Primarily eat wild game and fat and fermented veggies and fruit and nuts, and kind of like a meat eater diet, but a little Mediterranean as well. And Mediterranean meat eater, but no cheese. I'm skipping the cheese. Anyway, I don't want to feel inflamed anymore. And it's not so much about like the puffiness that I feel in my face, but like my joints are a little sore and a little swollen, and like it doesn't have to be that way. I know it can be different. I just kind of forgot. I don't know about you, but I don't know, past nutrition coach, nurse, health and wellness advocate, and it's like sometimes we get into our own rhythm in life and we can forget. And so that's why I'm doing this 30-day series of coming back to you, self-care retreat. So that's my second intention. The first one was to do energy healing and work for myself each day, and that includes writing morning and night. And the next one is to eliminate the inflammatory triggers like gluten and dairy and added sugar. And I think that's what I'll start with right now. And I'll share right now. So already today, just a deep level reflection. This is just the time to shift. I don't know about you. I don't know what's going on in your world, but it's likely you're feeling some sort of unrest. It's kind of a global epidemic right now. And the truth is, we can harness our own energy and we can ground within ourselves so we don't feel so slingshotted around, boomeranged around with the collective. I'm curious, what are some of the ways that you intentionally ground yourself? And can you relate to any of the things that I've shared in this little video? Go ahead and click subscribe if you'd like to follow along and see where the journey takes us.